The sight of home with fire is very familiar now around the planet. And you can go on the internet and find so much information about the basic home of fire, which is called Agnihotra. You can find out about how it purifies the atmosphere, how it neutralizes pollution in the atmosphere, how it even protects us from the radiation that's in the atmosphere, how it helps us to grow food, healthy organic food without any chemicals. All of this using Agnihotra. You can find a lot of information on the internet about that. This demonstration is just to show you the basics of how you do Agnihotra, sunrise and sunset. Agnihotra is a science. It's performed specifically at sunrise and again at sunset, and specifically at those times. You always have to have a clock that lets you know what the time is, and you can always find out the exact time of sunrise and sunset in your area. Now, to perform Agnihotra, you must have a copper pyramid. Looks just like this. Small. And you can set it on a brick or any kind of stand so that it doesn't burn the wood or your carpet, because you can do it outside and you can do it also inside your house. Now, what we are burning is small pieces of dried cow dung, which will be covered with ghee. Ghee is purified butter, unsalted butter, that all of the impurities have been taken out, and also raw pieces of rice. What you will do is take a piece of the cow dung first, flat, and put it in the bottom of the pyramid. And then you will select maybe 2 or 3 pieces, depending on how big you want your fire to be. If you're outside, you might want to create a very, very large fire. If you're inside, you might want to create one that's a little bit smaller. You coat the dung with ghee. The more ghee that you do use, the less smoky the fire will be. And then create like a little tent or a little pyramid inside of the copper pyramid. You want to have it so that there's air that's able to flow through, so that the fire and the flame can really expand. So after you've made your little tent, then you coat one last piece of dung, which will be the starter piece. Coat it with the ghee. And this is the piece that you're going to light. Now, before we light it up, because you're going to wind up lighting it about 3 to 4 minutes before the actual sunrise, or 3 to 4 minutes before the actual sunset. Once again, like I said, once you have the time sheet of what time sun rises in your area, then you'll know exactly what time you should start preparing. When you actually light it, and at the exact time of sunrise and the exact time of sunset, there is a mantra, tones or words in Sanskrit that you will say. And these tones, these words help create the effect, the healing, purifying effect of burning these 3 ingredients. Let me let you hear the mantra first. If it's in the morning for sunrise, you will be saying, Suryaya Swaha, Suryaya Idam Namama, Prajapataye Swaha, Prajapataye Idam Namama. That's the tone that you will be saying. That's the mantra that you will be saying in Sanskrit. Now you notice the word swaha is said twice. Each time you say the word swaha is when you will be adding just a little bit of the rice into the fire. Now, in the evening at sunset, you've lit the fire about 3 or 4 minutes ahead of time, and then exactly at the time of sunset, you will say this mantra. Agnaye swaha, Agnaye idam namama, praja pataye swaha, praja pataye idam namama. And once again, you heard the tone swaha twice. And on the word swaha, you will add a little bit of rice coated with ghee into the fire. Okay. You light your starter piece. Sometimes when you are first learning Agnihotra, it might take you 2 or 3 matches to get it lit. Not to worry. That's why it's good to start a good 3, 4, or 5 minutes ahead of time. Once you get it lit, then find a way to set it down in the middle of your little tent. And you can see there's plenty of air so that it's able to sort of catch the flame and really let it blaze up. And if you start 3 to 4, even 5 minutes, especially if you're outside and it's windy, ahead of time, by the time you get to do the mantra, you should have a nice full blaze. Now, when it is time and you do the mantra and you put the pieces of rice into the fire, that is exactly when you catch all of the energies and the electricities that manifest just at sunrise. And all of that energy, that's what helps the birds to wake up and you hear them singing. That's what helps all the flowers and the blossoms to just wake up and open their petals. And for humans, it helps you release any stress. It helps you become very, very calm and full of love inside. And that energy that takes place exactly at sunrise, that will stay with the area where you are all day until you do this again at sunset. Once again, the sun goes down, all the animals and the birds go to sleep, all the blossoms close back in, and you yourself are ready to be very much at peace inside. So now you will check your clock, and then when it's about a minute to 30 seconds before the sunrise or the sunset, and right now I'm going to do the sunset mantra for you. You check the rice and make sure there are no little pieces of broken rice. You want to use whole pieces of rice. And then just add a little bit of ghee to the rice and make 2 separate little fingerfuls, one for each time that you say swaha. Now, this is just a demonstration, and because it is not sunset, I am just demonstrating to you how to do it when it is sunset and when it is sunrise. So, if it were sunset now, and say we had 10 more seconds, you count down the 10 seconds, and then you begin the mantra. Agnaye swaha, Agnaye idam namama, prajapataye swaha, prajapataye idam namama. And while the flame is burning, you can just sit still, be as comfortable as you like. Invite the children to come around, invite your family. You'll notice that your pets like it too. and then you just rest. Some people like to meditate while the fire is aflame. Some people like to go inside and they send love to people who are sick or around the planet. Some people like just to do deep breathing. Whatever the inner work that you like to do, when you are doing Agnihotra, either in the morning at sunrise or in the evening at sunset, it's a very good time for being still and doing your inner work. If you can sit there as long as it's in flame, that would be great. If you have to hurry up and get out to go to work, then create a smaller fire. When you need more information about doing Agnihotra, the mantras, the meanings, where to get the pyramid, how to make the ghee and the dung, you can go to www.agnihotra.org. It has all of the information that you could possibly want. And it gives you a lot of information about all the people who are doing Agnihotra around this country and around the countries on the planet. One thing else I want to tell you about. When this finishes burning, the ash that is left in the pyramid is very, very potent. So you want to save it. Save it in a glass or a ceramic container. Keep it in there, and then you can use that ash not only for your garden, when you're trying to fertilize the garden for your plants and for your food that you want to grow organically. You can also set some aside, and with a mortar and pestle or any kind of grinding instrument, grind it up very, very fine to like a powder. And that ash is medicinal. You can actually put it on a cut or burn. You can even take it internally with some honey or with some water. All of that information is on that website, www.agnihotra.org.